Hey, it's Danielle over at DIYDanielle.com, and today I wanted to talk to you about painting plastic. Now, I had some questions. I had done this playhouse a year and a half ago, and I had some people asking me how did it hold up. So I wanted to write a post on how well it worked, and I do have the post over on my blog, and again, that's DIYDanielle.com. But I also wanted to talk about it on my YouTube channel because I thought it would be something that would be interesting to look at. And I could show you some before pictures and some after pictures of some of these projects. Now, to start with, this is one of my big projects. I did this with Rustoleum 2X, and it is a special paint that is made to work with plastic, and it has held up, in my opinion, pretty well. This is about a year and a half, almost 2 years old, and you'll notice that there's a lot of wear and tear along the top, but a lot of that has to do with the fact my sons climb on it, and also because we stored this outside in the winter. So hail, snow is sitting on it, not this winter as much, but last winter, and then we clean it off, and I think a lot of that caused some of the paint to scrape off. Also, right now it's under a tree, but it's been out in the sunlight as well, and some of that will cause some fading. Most of the wear and tear for the lower portions is actually along seams or areas that got a lot of wear and tear. For example, we have a basketball rim on this side, and a little bit of it has come off on the side. But overall, it has held up pretty well. Now, it's not perfect, and there are some things that I might try doing differently if I did this again. I did add acrylic paint to a couple areas to add detailing, and that has come off pretty quickly. And the detailing was really pretty, and if I kept it inside the house and this had been an indoor toy, it might have been fine, and it would have added a nice, like, it would have looked prettier. However, because I did it and then I brought it outside, this faded very quickly, the acrylic, and I would say that I would not do that again. Painting these is pretty easy if you paint them all one color, but if you start putting in details with acrylic paint, you're going to find yourself spending a lot of time. I spent hours doing the detailing on this for some of the smaller sections, and I'm going to show you now a picture of the before and after. So as you could see, that was not necessarily worth my effort. However, it also made it harder for me to repaint. So for this, it would be very easy for me to pull off the roof, which has had most of the wear and tear on it, and repaint it right now because there's no detailing. But if I wanted to repaint some of the areas that have detailing, I would have to be painting over all that detailing and then redo them if that's what I wanted to do. That, of course, would be very time consuming. Again, and only a year and a half later, would it be worth it? My thought is that if I repaint this, I'm actually going to just repaint with a plain coat of paint and just skip all the detailing because, again, it will be an outdoor toy. And I may very well do that. Now, some of the other things that I would do differently is I might use a primer underneath. The paint that I used is paint and primer in one, but I think I would try to do it with primer underneath and see if it held up even better for the next time. So the other thing is that I added lettering, and at the time I didn't have a Cricut machine, and I was using the little store-bought letters you can buy, and they're really peeling off. I know you see that a lot with stickers that have been outdoors, but I have a few items that I've done outdoor stickers with 651 permanent adhesive vinyl, and it seems to last longer, so I think I would try that next time. So again, this has actually held up really well. I think it was definitely worth doing for the cost of the paint, and if you're not including the time I spent with the acrylic paints, it was definitely a good project and saved us a lot of money because these playhouses, I found this by a dumpster, and I went in, I was like, hey, can I have this? And they were like, yeah, take it, it's going to the garbage. Not only did I save that from going into a landfill and taking up space, these things don't biodegrade. I mean, they're plastic, they're gonna last forever. And I hate seeing stuff like that go to waste. And so it cost me $0, zero, except for the paints. And then I added a few items that I had to purchase to replace like accessories that had broken. But a lot of these companies offer, you can purchase those extra accessories for like $2 or $3 on their website. So it's really reasonable to do. So I think probably this project cost me about $50, maybe $75, maybe, not even sure. But it wasn't really expensive. And these playhouses go for like $400, $600 sometimes. So, you know, I feel like I saved a lot of money. I can repaint it, and when it boils down to it, a lot of times you're gonna find that paint is going to fade anyways when you buy a purchased plastic item. And it depends a lot on the color of the paint, as well as how they process it. I don't know a lot about it, but my understanding is that when a toy is made, or an item is made of plastic, they would mix the coloring in with the plastic, or they can take the hardened plastic and then paint it. The stuff that gets painted after it's hardened seems less likely to hold up. So you'll find you have even some indoor baby toys, for example, that might have multiple colors. The main color is the one you'll see that never peels. It might fade, but it doesn't peel. But then you might see some other colors, like maybe there's some blue detailing, and you'll start to see that slowly come off over time and rub off. So I want to show you a little bit of, I have a couple items that are just toys that we also kept outside. And this was part of a roller coaster toy that we still have. I just didn't want to haul the whole thing out. And as you can see, this was red, and it has a lot of fading. And this is probably, this may have seen more time outside than this, maybe, but we also put this away sometimes, so it's not out in the winter. So as you can see, it's really, really faded. So I don't know if it could partially be due to the color, and certain colors do fade faster than other colors. Apparently red is way more likely to fade, and like a blue is less likely to fade. And yellow is somewhere in between, which I'm going to show you. So, this is a toy car. The blue, not faded. The yellow has faded. So you could tell that the yellow has started to discolor over time. And again, this is a toy we kept outside predominantly, so it's getting a lot of, I guess, wear and tear from the sun. So, now the one thing you want to be careful of is you want to make sure that you're using the right paint. I found that there is a really big difference between product types for paint and how they handle or stand up over time. I'm going to try to show you some of these ones. Oh, before I do that though, let me show you the before picture of this, just so you can see the difference between what it looks like now and what it looked like a year and a half ago. Okay, so these buckets were actually painted with a different type of plastic paint, and as you can see, they look awful. They were cat litter boxes that I painted, and that was last year, and filled with soil, and I stacked them over the winter. And I can't emphasize enough how important it is to pick the right type of paint. I would not, I mean, I've had good luck with the Rustoleum 2X, and I would not mess around with anything else. My issue with this is that the paint isn't just fading, it is chipping off. And it started chipping off pretty quickly after I did the project. And I immediately went and changed my recommendations for the project to say use the Rustoleum. And I don't want to seem like I'm beating a dead horse here, or that I'm somehow financially motivated to say that they're better. I am not being paid by Rustoleum. I wish I was, but I'm not. And the reality is just that I am not going to send you guys off to do a project that's going to peel apart in a couple of months. That's just a waste of time. I'm not going to waste your time, and I'm not going to waste my time. Or rather, I did waste my time, and I'm hoping you guys learn from it. So, as you can tell, I did 651 vinyl or permanent vinyl on the front, and it's intended for outdoor use. And that actually has held up really well, even if the paint hasn't. Here's another item that I painted with plastic paint. As you can tell, this looks really good. There's only a few spots. This was like a pink or a purple and a red before. And there's only a few spots, like right here, that you can see the paint coming through. And that has a lot to do with storage. So this was stored inside mostly. The kids played with it outdoors, and then we put it back inside the shed when it was done. It's a little harder for bigger items, but for a small item like that, it's super easy to move it around and put it away after you're done with it. So, of course, we see less sun fading, and the wear and tear is all on the front where my kids like to run into things with it. So, it doesn't look perfect, but that's because the paint job originally wasn't perfect. I had some black spray paint. I didn't tape everything off very well. So, but very little spots on it, and it looks good after, you know, I think it's been a year maybe on this one. I'll show you a before picture. So that's it. I don't know if I have any other information you might like over on my blog, DIYDanielle.com. Again, I wrote a post about it, comparing colors and linking some sources for what are the best colors to use in terms of preventing sun fading. And I'm hoping it's helpful to you, because I really think it's worthwhile to try to paint plastic, and as long as you do it right. And I'm hoping that this can save everyone a little bit of effort and time, so that you don't end up in a situation like I did, where I have items that are breaking down over a very short amount of time. I definitely think I saved, like I said, I saved a lot of money painting this, and my kids were excited. I repainted this beast here. When I repainted this, they were like, oh, it's like a new thing. It's like a new toy for them, even though it's just a coat of paint. And I don't even know, I mean, I probably used one coat, like one can of paint for each color, and I didn't use the whole can because it's such a small item. So it's a nice way to update things, make them look nice again, and kind of give them new life for your kids and for yourself, to make you feel better. And the items don't end up in the landfill. Plastic does not break down like, you know, cardboard or wood. So it's important to be conscious about our use and our disposal of plastic, so that it doesn't end up as waste. So I hope that helps. Thanks so much for watching. Don't waste your time on, you know, a project if you don't have the right supplies. Yeah. Alrighty. Thanks so much. Take care. Have a good one. Bye. Oh, don't forget to subscribe.